Well, welcome everybody. Hello. What's up?
What's up?
This is the Beer View Mirror. So basically what we're going to do on the Beer View Mirror is we're going to look back at what we did the previous week. News, stories, things that happened. Do you ever pay attention to the news, Brandon? Do you ever?
A little bit.
You pay attention more to pop culture, don't you?
No, I mean I do every little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. So if I were to ask your opinion right now of the ongoing crisis in Syria, would you give me your opinion on that?
Yeah, I'd be like, they need to get more serious. Next.
That's why I have you here. So again, this is the Beer View Mirror. My name is Grant, if you don't know that already, and if you don't, now you know. Don't know, now you know. Yes. To my left is my co-host, Brandon. What's up, Brandon?
What's going on, brother?
Well, man, I just been sitting here waiting on you to get here. So now that you got here, it's good. We can start.
I was only going to be the typical 5 minutes late, but I had to get beer, so.
Okay.
But I'm here now.
Well, I'm glad you're here. But speaking of that, we were talking about before, like, can you make an original song? Like, we can't play music. We need a song. I need music when we're playing. Can you do that? Can you write or create a song for us?
Yeah, a little jingle.
Can you do it? Like,
yeah.
Could you think if somebody came up, you could legitimately just do that right off your head? Like, do you think you could do a rap for us right now?
Man, it's not, dude.
Could you think you could do that? Do you have that ability to flow?
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to do it right now.
Why not?
Because it's a beer in the rear view.
No.
We got Pew Pew.
We got Pew Pew. We'll get to Pew Pew here in just a little bit because we have a guest. This is our first guest that we've ever had.
I'm excited.
On the show. It's our first guest. Johnny, I guess I wouldn't necessarily consider Johnny to have been a guest. Johnny kind of forced.
Johnny's the boss man.
Johnny forced his way onto the show. We couldn't really say no to him. So, oh, okay. Hey, Hector, are you on the mic? Are you working today?
Yes.
Okay.
Hector the Connector.
We got HTC, the Spanglish Gangster, aka Hector the Connector.
The Spanish Gangster.
Spanglish Gangster. So again, those of you who don't know, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk a little bit, and we're gonna talk about this previous week, some stuff that came up, just weird stuff that we just wanted to talk about. I've got some stories, some things I want to discuss with you, if you're cool with that.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
And then here in a little bit, we're going to introduce our guest, and we're going to talk to her. So, are you excited about that?
I'm very excited about having our first guest.
That's right. It's going to be good. We're going to have a good time. So, right off the bat, though, I do want to discuss somebody. I want to talk about these folks.
Strack.
Strack is a sponsor of this show. Strack is one of the reasons why we're doing what we're doing. See, show your little what do you have there?
Bottle opener. I just opened my my beer with it.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of beer, let's talk about our beer. What are you drinking today?
I'm doing a Modelo Especial in the bottle with the gold foil.
Okay.
That's how I like to do it.
I'm trying this out.
Oh, I've had Guns N' Oil.
You have?
Yeah, that's good.
Is it good stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with it. It seems like that there's not a lot of it out there, but I like it.
No, it's good.
When did you have it last?
I was they had it on draft somewhere.
Where did they have it on draft? I've never seen it on draft. Anymore.
Yeah, they did.
You don't remember?
Are we doing shout outs? All right, so here I think over here at the Beer Garden. This place over here off Highway 6.
Oh, for real? That place
Yeah.
right over there by that grocery store,
Mhm.
Ann's Grocers or
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if they're in business. They're good.
I mean,
though.
it's
I like
yeah.
it. Guns and Oil. And this will tie in perfect to our guest today,
I like it.
Guns and Oil. So
Smart man.
that'll explain more in a little bit. So Modelo, Guns and Oil. So we're having some beer, but thank you, Strack, for what you're doing as far as your sponsorship. Strack is customization, really. Customization, gunsmithing. You got Cerakoters as well. Cerakoters and Strack. If you want a badass gun, I guess, is the way I would say it. You want a badass gun, go see these guys. Strack and Cerakoters.
I like it.
You like it? They do. What are you doing, Brandon?
My side chick series trying to.
Damn. I'm trying to do a sponsorship here, and you are fucking it all up. So chill out with your phone.
Lo siento mucho.
We haven't even been on the show 10 minutes, and you're already going to the phone.
My bad.
It's all right.
Looking at notes.
Looking at notes. All right. Well, the first thing I want to discuss with you, Brandon. So we're going to move on from our gun sponsor. We're going to talk about a gun story. Do you pay any attention to gun stories, laws, things like that?
I do. Yeah, I have a couple guns.
You have a couple? What do you have?
357, little Smith & Wesson, little hammerless
Okay.
collector's item. It's when I first bought it, I went and shot it
Yeah.
at the gun range. It holds 5 rounds. After 2, I was done. I was like, that's enough.
Why?
Handing.
Why? It was hurting you a little bit?
Bro, I mean, it was crazy. I shot it and everyone was like looking down the aisle. Like,
Wow. What were you doing?
nothing. It's a 3. I mean, I thought, oh, okay, cool. You know, it's nice and compact and everything. No, bro, it was ridiculous. My hand the whole rest of the day was shaking. I was like, couldn't even drive. Dude, it was crazy.
You're like, this is cool. And this is a lot of fun.
I was like, don't do that. You got to finish the round, finish everything. And I was like, one more. And I was like anticipating the kick. And I was like all the way up here. And I was like, boom, all right, I'm done.
You didn't like that one, did you? Well, hopefully you don't ever have to use it.
No, but yeah, exactly. And the 12 gauge for the house. I mean, just, I guess, normal stuff.
Normal stuff. Okay. Well, with one of the things that we've got as far as this turnover that we have in Congress or in the House, as far as our United States, you hear about it all the time. They're really big on gun control. Okay.
Right.
There's a certain part of the party that's really big on gun control. Well, that's what they're trying to do right now. Is they're trying to. It was a bill that passed that is basically trying to expand background checks. So basically, if you ask me, I think they already do a pretty good job of background checks, but some people don't think it's enough, so they are delaying it out even further. I don't know exactly what all the particulars are of it, but I just know that they're trying more and more to make it more and more difficult for people to own and buy guns.
Right.
And I feel like, I don't know, do you have your LTC? Do you have your license to carry?
No, but real quick, funny
Yes.
thing.
Okay. Yeah,
was
let's
talking
talk
about it.
this, yes.
I was talking about it, and like everything else with social media, Groupon, boom, 50% off, concealed handgun license class, and I'm like, really? Like, how did it was just weird. So I signed up for one.
Oh, you
but
did?
I do not have my license at the moment.
So you signed up for the Groupon class?
I mean, might as well. It's just like, hey, conveniently we heard you.
Is that gonna? They heard you talking about guns? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, or about a concealed handgun license? Yeah.
Okay. Well, when is it? When are you gonna do it?
I don't know. I just bought it. I'm not sure yet.
Is it
Whenever
the
I
whole
have
deal?
time.
Like you have to do like go in and do the gun range and then do the class and all that?
No,
Is
yeah,
that
that's
what
the
you're
whole
doing?
thing. Yeah.
It's like a 6-7 hour
And
class.
I want that class. I want that because honestly, like for me personally, it's like I've been to one of these gun ranges and they have these little simulators and it's like, they got like around the corner or if you're at the ATM and someone approaches you from behind,
Yeah.
Like me, I'm just going to empty the clip and just hope that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are like, they're teaching you, this is what you need to do. This is how to react. And you think you would know how to react, right? But that's under control. But in that moment, you're going to be so much adrenaline. You're going to be nervous. So
Right.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You definitely learn a lot. I mean, I took it with my wife, and we both. I tell you what, some of the stuff you learn in that class makes you not even want to own one. I mean, because all the the laws that you have, like all the ways that you can get in big time trouble.
For sure.
Even if you think you're doing a legit,
Right.
like if you have to defend yourself and it's a legit, you're shooting somebody legitimately. Like you can get in a lot of trouble for that.
Sure.
Even if you're found to be innocent.
Yeah, they can sue you. Yeah, there can be civil suits. I mean,
Yeah.
on top of everything else.
And look, I don't know your stance on it, but I feel like it's important that the crazy people aren't owning guns. Like I'm all for that.
For sure.
But I also don't think we need to make it more difficult for people that are law-abiding, good citizens, which are a majority of people out there.
Right.
I don't think you should make it more and more difficult for them to be able to arm and defend themselves.
For sure.
I mean, agree, disagree?
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Okay. That's your addition to this is I agree. That's all you're going to say? We got you on here because you don't shut up. And
I
now
just
you're
gave
shutting
you
up.
my.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go to our guest because you're not contributing anything.
I
to this
feel like
conversation.
there would be a lot more contribution from the side.
I do. Well, we're going to go ahead and bring. You know what? This is a good opportunity to bring in our guest, Amanda Morris.
Hi there. How's it going?
Amanda, how are you?
Good, good.
So for those of you who don't know, you're meeting Amanda for the first time. Amanda Morris is a competitive shooter, correct?
Correct.
Competition shooter, which we're going to get into in a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit more about you and learn more about you. But you've heard our conversation. You've heard what we've talked about. In your line of work, being a competitive shooter, just in your own owning of guns and weapons, like what's your feeling on what they're talking about doing?
Well, with the new bill that's out there, it makes it difficult for someone like me that a lot of times we borrow equipment. If my equipment is down, if it's being sent out for servicing, if I'm shooting something that I might not necessarily have that equipment, I borrow a lot of gear. And a lot of times whenever new shooters are coming in or you want to try something before you buy it because our equipment is very, very expensive, we'll borrow gear, we'll run it for a few matches. With this new type of bill that's out, we might not be able to do that, especially considering that I'm flying across the country or in some cases to other countries with this gear.
Yeah.
Not necessarily me, but there are a lot of professionals out there that do fly internationally and do fly with borrowed gear. Another thing is that a lot of times I get sent gear on the fly like, hey, I need this new lower to run for a match and I need it by next week. And a lot of times I'll have things shipped to me very quickly. And if there's that waiting period, it might affect my performance. And, you know, I'm not one of the big level shooters that it keeps my light bills on, but this could definitely affect a lot of people that are at a much higher level than what I am. As far as the general consumer, I hear a lot of people tell me I went and did my LTC class, but I never went to go fill out the paperwork. I never went to go get my fingerprints done. I know way too many people that have went and sat through the 4-hour class, did the education, did the practical shooting part of the class, passed their test, and yet they never sent in their paperwork. So you have a lot of people that just will avoid even purchasing firearms for their home defense, for their self-defense, just for the reason of it might be a little bit too much trouble if there's that long waiting period. Like, oh, I can't just purchase today. I've got to come back tomorrow and pick up.
Sure.
I've got to come back X amount of days later and pick up.
Sure.
I know a lot of people that live on the West Coast, specifically California, that are law-abiding citizens that are eligible to purchase firearms within the California strict regulations.
They're super strict.
They are, and I did a lot of my training out in California, so I'm really familiar with the California gun laws, and they're changing every day.
Yeah.
My concealed carry when I'm in California is a Kimber pepper blaster, so it's a little pepper spray gun. So I got to switch up my carry whenever I go over there. But even with them, because there's that, I believe it's a 7-day waiting period for them. A lot of them just don't want to deal with the hassle, even though they are eligible to own firearms.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, what a law-abiding citizen does with, you know, how they choose to exercise their rights is their business and their prerogative. I don't believe that what this bill proposes, I don't think this is going to be a one-step solution to the current conflict that we're facing whenever it comes to any type of gun violence.
Yeah, I mean, look, when these things start, like these kind of bills, I think their heart's in the right place. Like they see bad things that happen and they want to do what they can to address a problem that they think there is. But in my opinion, this is not the, like you just said, this is not the only step. Like I feel like they think if you do this, then that'll fix a lot of it. And I think there's more than just
now
that.
A lot of in this bill they want to bring up the NICS background check. And if y'all don't know what the NICS background check is, the NICS is a division of the FBI. And I, as a law-abiding citizen that has never had an infraction with law enforcement, I was flagged by the NICS background system because my name sounded too similar to someone else that had a criminal record. Even though I submitted my LTC information, even though I submitted my social security number, I was flagged. I had to get a hold of legislators and I had to file a lawsuit on the FBI for infringement of my civil rights.
Wow.
Because I had 2 pieces of my professional equipment that was in limbo that I needed for a match that I was supposed to fly out the next week for. Now, I didn't get to shoot that match, and it took about 3 months before I could purchase a firearm. before they realized, and it was going, and I had to go down the FBI office. I had to be fingerprinted, and it was humiliated because until I got a letter in the mail from the government saying like, oh no, you're not that person we thought you were, I was humiliated and treated like I was a criminal, and I wasn't. So people want to say the NICS background check is going to be the one step solution when it's not, because you have things like the South Texas shooter, the church shooter in Sutherland Springs. He passed the NICS background check at an academy where he purchased his rifle. So it's not a one-step solution. We need to fix our background check system before we can impose any more rules and legislation on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more steps than just one. And I think that's the thing that, like you're talking about, especially for somebody like yourself who's got an LTC. I mean, that's you have to go through all those steps anyway. It sounds like to me there is already a pretty good extensive background if something flags or pops up. Well, that's good. I mean, this is I wanted to get you in a little bit later on in the conversation, but since we started talking about this right away, I think this was a good thing to bring you in. And so what we can do is we can go ahead, if you're cool with it, is start talking a little bit about you. And then we can get into some more stuff later on. You can join in with us. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Can I interrupt real quick?
Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
Hey, yeah,
Cheers.
Having you on.
Yes. Cheers.
Thank you for joining
Amanda.
us.
Yeah. No,
Amanda.
this is going to be good. I was just, I tell you this, I was just excited that we were getting a guest that wasn't Johnny. So that's what I was excited about. I mean, I love Johnny to death. I mean, we're family. He's a brother, but at the same time, it was nice to bring you on. So I know we talked about it for a while and wanting to get somebody on and get somebody learn more about people. So
Yeah,
we're gonna learn a little
I
about
definitely
you.
appreciate y'all having me, and I'm excited to do this.
Good.
It's my first time ever doing like a podcast or anything. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
I figured you would have done something like this by now.
No, never.
No? So we're the first. All right. Hey, she came on for us, man.
It's only like our third, so
It's all good.
So are you really from?
It's been a long time since I got to say I was a virgin. So
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, it's that kind of show. All right.
oh,
so,
is that kind of a point?
Are you from Houston originally?
I am from South Houston, Texas, born and raised.
Cool. What high school did you go to?
I actually went to a private school because I was a bad kid and I couldn't act right in public school.
Oh,
Couldn't
no.
act right.
Oh, no. So they had to send you off to a private school.
Yeah, man, my folks got tired of driving me all the way to like Central Pasadena to go to alternative school. So they put me in private school. I was a bit of a wild one as a kid.
But that's cool. It worked out for you and for them as well.
Yeah, I definitely learned my lessons young, thankfully.
But here's a question, though. Honestly, so you go to private school. All of a sudden, you're a changed person. Or were you the same? You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes parents send their kids off to private school and be like, okay, they're going to get better now. And it's still kids that are their same age. Nothing really
Nah,
changes,
like
does
this private school was definitely one that specialized in kids that were
Oh.
a bit problematic or maybe didn't truancy or ones that had teen pregnancy. Like they were not the we're gonna go and pray every day kind of private school.
I
So
gotcha.
they definitely let you be self-managing, and it was either gonna pass, you're gonna pass, you're gonna fail. And I think I had to learn of a lot of self-responsibility and adulting through that process.
Well, that's good. All
Yeah.
right. So Houston born and raised then.
Yeah.
Very good. So Amanda Morris, I told people about you being a competitive shooter. So obviously in the field you run in, a lot of people know what a competitive shooter is. Probably have some people watching or listening that has no idea what that is. So what's a competitive shooter?
All right. Well, I guess I can give you the rundown from how I got into it. And,
There you go. Yeah, we'll do that.
You know, I moved out the house when I was real young, and you know, when you live on your own, you got to be able to look out after yourself.
Sure.
And so I, of course, you know, I went, and this is back when you could do it. I went and pawned some gold necklaces that I had and scrounged up some change out of the seat cushions, and I went and bought my first gun from Walmart. It was an AR-15.
Cool.
It's back when you could actually buy AR-15s from Walmart, and so
You're like, let me get some milk, eggs, and just this AR-15.
yeah, let me just go ahead and throw this in the basket too. It's all good. It's a good housewarming party.
Cheetos too. Here's
Yeah,
some
some hot Cheetos.
Yeah,
Wait.
Hey.
absolutely.
Hot Cheetos. With the Takis. We know about the Takis. Don't worry. HTC.
Hey, Takis weren't around though. Like not them, but now hey, they go hard though.
Yeah.
So I first had the rifle, then I got into pistol. Whenever I became of age, 21 is when you have to buy a pistol, or whenever you're eligible to buy a pistol legally. And I was going to the range, good accuracy and stuff, but I remember there was one day where I was like, I feel like it's never going to be 7 yards in real life. I feel like it's never going to be good lighting. I feel like I'm never going to have time to prepare myself. What am I going to do if there's malfunctions? Like, how do I work through that? I had no idea of any of that kind of stuff, and I had no one around me with experience to do that. I was a lot of self-taught. And someone had suggested, well, maybe you should get into competitive shooting. So I get online, and I look it up. And then I see Keanu Reeves. We've all seen that video of Keanu Reeves
man, it's badass.
burning it down.
Yes.
Badass.
That's pretty sweet.
And he's going from,
Impressive.
rifle to the shotgun to the pistol, reholstering the pistol. And I'm like, man, like, I thought Keanu Reeves was hot in the Matrix, but ooh, hey, what's up, baby? No, so I saw that and I was like, okay, what is it he's doing? Oh, he's doing 3-gun.
Okay.
How to be a 3-gun shooter. YouTube. Let's go. And fortunately, there's a lot of great pros that have put up the tutorials. Taron Butler, he's the one that actually makes the firearms for all the John Wick movies. He trains a lot of the Hollywood people. Diana Mueller, she's a great 3-gun girl. And when I say 3-gun, you, in a single course of fire, you transition from pistol, rifle, shotgun.
Okay.
So I just thought, okay, I'm going to go shoot 3-gun.
Yeah.
Had no idea what I was doing. I flew out for a big match, and that's not something most people do. Most people start at local club matches, 1 gun, go big or go home. And it was a mess, but I started doing 3-gun stuff, and so I like to shoot in the UML, which is the United Multi-Gun League. And with that, you can shoot 3-gun, and depending on what type of equipment you have, it depends on what division you run in. You can shoot PCC, which is pistol caliber carbine, and I run a 9mm. It's on the AR-15 platform. I love running PCC. It's a fun gun to run. It's cost effective, and especially getting into competitive shooting, it is by far the cheapest way to get into it, as well as also the most user friendly. It is the easiest, and a lot of people don't like it just because they feel like, oh, well, you guys are using a handicap. Whatever, we're all getting out there, we're all having fun, and that's what it's about.
And when you say on a run, you're talking about running a course, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's a lot of moving and shooting. It's not
Okay.
just standing there and hitting a target. There is stuff like that called precision shooting, and you can go out to way past 1,000 yards. I don't know how to do that. That's not my game.
Right.
So with the UML, it's great. You have paper targets, you have steel targets, you're running, you're moving. Sometimes you're having to go through shoot houses, which are actually houses that you have to clear.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're carrying weighted vests, or you're carrying a dummy body that's 150 pounds. So it can be a very physical thing too, and it's great because it transitions into the real life, and that's what I love about it, is that I feel like when the buzzer goes off, your mind goes blank. I call it the Men in Black. Whenever they take that zapper and they'd zap your brain, and everything would go blank. And it really does. Everything goes blank, and you have to think as far as, oh my God, what am I doing? How is it doing this? And so it transitions into the real world of how am I going to move around? How am I going to manipulate? How am I going to go from target to target? So if there's more than one person, what am I going to do in the case of a jam or a failure, or if my magazine hits the ground, or if I run out of ammo, can I get a reload in?
Right.
Like he said, he's gonna unload his mag. Well, do you have a backup mag?
Yeah.
And if you do have a backup mag, how quickly can you do that mag change to
Right.
engage another target, or engage that same target that you may have missed?
Okay.
So it translates. The competitive shooting also translates into your real every world experience.
Okay. So it's not I'm just going to be going up at paper targets and moving. Like, you're really kind of in there in the weeds, getting really into it, like real life situation kind of stuff.
Sometimes it can be. Sometimes it is paper targets. Like sometimes, and that's more USPSA.
Okay.
Which is going to be mostly pistol. They've started introducing the PCC as well, but it is going to be 1 gun. And unlike UML, where it's 2 hits on paper, anywhere on the paper target, you keep moving. USPSA, you are graded on where you hit on that paper.
Okay.
So how accurately you hit and how fast you hit it.
Okay.
So USPSA makes you a much more technical shooter. And at first I used to laugh at it. I'm like, oh, I don't care. It's just, this is just practice. It's going to be 2 hits on paper and keep moving. And then I realized like how important USPSA is, because it focuses on getting those good body hits, getting those good center mass hits.
Okay.
So if you can become a good pistol shooter, which of course we're all going to carry pistol for our concealed carry. Very
Right.
rarely do I meet people who are like, yeah, I'm just gonna tuck the rifle down my pants.
That's right.
So it'll teach you a lot of things that that can transition very much into your everyday life for sure.
So in the UML, how many people are in a league like that? Like, how big is that league?
Like
Do you have any clue?
a local club match, like, so whenever I say a local club match, like there's ones in Navasota, there's ones down here in Rosenberg, in the Houston area. One of those local small weekly matches can be 100 plus shooters. When you go to their state or their region or their national championships, you can get into the hundreds of shooters. But there's thousands of people that are out there and they do it, and we love doing it. It's for the fun. We're competitive, but at the end of the day, if I want to hit up someone and be like, hey, I'm having this issue, what do you suggest? Like, yeah, cool. Let me look at your equipment. Let me fix your equipment. Or, hey, your zero's off. You need to zero at this. A lot of times we support each other because we want to see everybody do our best. And we want to make sure that we're having the most competitive people out there. So I'll be honest, I'm a bottom of the pack shooter. So I'm in the bottom 50% consistently. I recently had my highest finish last weekend, which I was super stoked on.
Congrats.
Yeah, I ended up in the top 10 for the first time ever. That
There
was
you go.
awesome. Pretty exciting.
Congratulations.
And so I'm not going to sit here and play like I'm the best there is out there. I'm not, but everybody supports me, and I've shot on squads with some of the biggest names in the gun industry, not just as far as competitive shooting, but just as far as firearms in general.
Yeah.
And they're there to help me, and they want to give me pointers for the next stage that I go to shoot. They're there, and I'm going to apply that, and I'm going to run that course, and I'm going to run it better than I did the course before. So a lot of us, we support each other, and we have each other's backs, and we want to see everybody do as best as we can do.
Very good. Are there prizes for when you win a competition?
Yeah, so your local club matches normally not, but that's why their entry fees are so cheap. Your local club matches are just going to be, the weekly, okay guys, let's all get together. Let's go shoot some guns. No different than, hey, let's all get together and go look at some cars, or, your local car meets.
Okay.
And then you have like your SEMA, which is like the big time car meet of the year.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I can explain this to people is, and they're just as equally expensive. Now with your regional and your championships and things like that, you're going to have things like price tables. So anywhere from stickers and gun lube can go up to free firearms or, in some occasions, big cash prizes.
Okay.
For me, the most beneficial thing I got off of a prize table was whenever I was starting out, I didn't have my rifle, and I got a scratch off for X amount of percent off. And it was Seekins Precision, which is a great rifle company, and I got the scratch off for 60% off.
Wow.
So I got a rifle that was over $2,000 for 60% off.
That's
awesome.
And I definitely appreciate that, because otherwise at that point I wouldn't have been able to afford a rifle, much less a quality rifle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
When you started off at Walmart going to buy a rifle, like what was your situation where you said, okay, I'm going to go to Walmart and I'm going to go buy a AR-15? You wanted to have one?
It was within walking distance of my house.
Yeah.
I didn't have a car. I was homeless at the time. Well, I was homeless and then quickly got a place. Then figured before I bought furniture, the first thing I was going to do was be able to, buy me this firearm. I mean, I was younger. I was definitely a victim of sexual abuse. So
Okay.
I wanted to be able to make sure that I would be safe in my home and I could sleep well at night, knowing that I was able to protect myself. So I went down there and I said, hey, I want to buy a gun, and I don't know anything about them. And the guy said, well, people like AR-15s. They're easy to use. They're effective. And you get a high round count. So, that's what you probably need to buy.
Yeah.
And they're relatively easy to shoot.
They are. They're very
It's not
user
like
friendly,
you
and that's
kick
why
back.
people love them, and that's why they are called America's gun, because they are very user friendly. And now that the AR-15 is coming out on so many different calibers, you can have AR-15 from anywhere from a 22 up to a 12 gauge shotgun. So it's the platform. It's an AR platform. It's not just 223. It's not just 5.56. It's not 300 blackout. There's so many different types of calibers you can shoot on that same platform. And I'm transitioning now all my guns to basically be able to shoot off that same platform, whether it be my shotgun or my big girl, I call it my big girl gun, but my 223 or my 9mm will all be based off that AR-15 platform. Now, I didn't have the money at the time because the price tag was a little bit expensive. I said, okay, well, I guess I'll be back tomorrow. And I went, I scrounged up all the coins I could, and I went and I filled out the form for the next background check.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the instant yes or no like they like to say.
Yes.
There's the Brady Law, which could be up to 72 hours that you have to wait. And it'll say either you're approved, delayed, or denied. And so when you go to purchase from a retailer, most of the time they're going to say approved. For that time, because I was a first-time purchaser, I was young, I was delayed. They called me back, I think, a day and a half later, and they said, you've been approved. You can come back and pick up your rifle. And so I walked back up there, picked up my rifle, and walked back home with my rifle.
Awesome.
God bless Texas.
Yeah.
But and a lot of people like to think that you can just walk into a gun show and walk out with a firearm, or you can walk into Academy or something and walk out with a firearm. It's not necessarily that way. If the government says you're delayed, you can be delayed up to 72 hours.
Yeah.
So there is already a delay out there.
Right. Yeah. That's why I asked, because I know that there's already that out there. So, okay. Is it just gun competition that you do, or do you do competition shooting, or do you do other things too for work, for profession?
Well, I am also a drink slinger in addition to be a gunslinger.
Okay.
So, or I like to say that I'm a babysitter for adults. Because there comes that point in the evening every evening.
It is like a daycare.
I'm just like, all right, this is the point that I just got to turn into mom instead of being your server. Now I just got to be your babysitter. So, yeah.
So you're in the bar business then?
I am.
Okay.
I am, and I love it. I love working in the service industry. Everybody thought, a lot of people think it's a temporary job or whatever, and I've had the big girl jobs, and I love what I do. I really do love being a server.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I bet and plus it gives you an opportunity during the day to do the things that you like to do as far as the competition shooting. I would assume go to ranges and things like that.
It gives me a flexible schedule to be able to go practice or travel to go do matches. It also gives me the financial freedom to do so, because it's a very, very, very expensive sport to get into.
Are you at the range a lot every day?
No, I do a lot of at-home dry fire practice. It cuts down on the cuts down the ammo cost and the range fees.
Yeah.
Because what I do, I could easily burn through thousands of rounds of ammo in a month.
Yeah.
And typically now I can keep it down to about 1,000 rounds of ammo a month. So, I try to keep it pretty low cost for me. So at home I practice a lot. I do a lot of dry fire.
Okay. Brandon, do you want to interact here, or do you just want to sit there for the rest of the show? Do you want to?
I feel like I'm one of Amanda's targets, but you're targeting me like this whole time. Am I a paper target for you? Are you getting me right in the face range? I mean,
well, if this were a competition, I'd be in the top 5. That's for sure.
Brandon's been in the bar business before.
I'm also a big target. Yeah, I've been in the bar business.
You've been in the bar business?
I have been.
Okay.
My boy JY. It was before JY's marketing. It was JY's Johnny Sports Bar.
Johnny Sports Bar. Come on, where you can have some fun and drinks. Johnny Sports
That was
Bar.
when, now it's UFC 18 million. It was UFC 100 at that time, I remember. One thing I saw on your Facebook, wasn't Facebook stalking you at all, just happened to.
Stalker. Hey, who knows a good connect for a restraining order?
Yeah. Well, actually,
these guys do. There's a lawyer they use.
Yeah, he'll be here on Thursday. We'll get with him. We'll
wait till Thursday.
Yeah, we'll watch out. We'll make sure.
You have a picture, and I think it's awesome. I guess it may be with your AR. A gun is like a woman. It's all about how you hold her.
Okay, so that was done in Michigan by my friend Chris and his wife Kimberly Matt. Their former. He was the Maxim photographer. She was the Maxim model. And now they specifically work in doing high-end modeling photos for the firearms industry. A lot of times girls want to get a bad rap for being sexy or attractive and posing with firearms. I'm not going to be that kind of a hater. But yeah, I was out there visiting, and I was in Detroit area, and they hit me up like, hey, if you have your guns out here, we'd love to have you out. Come snap a few photos. And that photo came out, and yeah, a gun is a lot a lot like a woman is definitely how you hold her. And, you know, if you're going to go out and just one-handed and sloppily shoot her, like you're not going to have the same result as if you hold her nice and tight and you grip her good and you treat her right. And
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, you lube her up real good. Like, you know.
I didn't want to say it.
Waited till she said it.
It's gonna be that gun's gonna be good and reliable and treat you real good for the long haul. So, you know, it definitely is how you treat your gun is how you treat your woman, for sure.
This kind of transitions into a question that I was wanting to ask you is, being a woman in an industry like competitive shooting, how is that for you? Is it, I don't know. I mean, how is that for you as far as being involved in that?
A lot of people like to think that that there's some type of a handicap from being a woman in the competitive shooting world. Unless we're having to carry those big weights, unless we have to scale a wall and do something extremely physical, we are at the exact same level as men as far as competitors. And there are women out there consistently that do clean up on the guys and do win these world titles. And there are quite a few of them. There's Olympic shooters that shoot better than men. There is the one girl that I love, and you're going to hear her name a million times every time we firearms industry, is Lena Michalik. She dominates the industry. And you can put, whether it be a SIG, because she shoots for SIG, whether it be a SIG or a she shoots the MPX, which is another type of PCC, so another type of rifle. It shoots a 9mm round. She consistently comes home with titles. She consistently represents the U.S. and she's always on the top of the podium whenever she represents us. So she makes it very easy for me to sit there and look at her and say I could be up there one day.
Yeah.
But you know, we're not a handicap. We're not as far as being women's industry. We're not. You don't look at us and be like, oh, she's just a girl doing this. You know, we should cut her some slack, because there are female competitors out there that are truly serious about their game.
I bet. Yeah. Whenever you research and you look at competition shooting, you can see the ladies that are out there, and they are serious about what they do. And I can imagine. Look, I've got 2 girls. I've got 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. So
teach your daughter how to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, I want my daughters to be able to just be like, hey, it doesn't matter what you are, or you're talking about this picture right here.
Gangster shit.
Well, that's not the caption for that photo. That one was actually a photo that I took here locally down on Harrisburg in 2nd Ward, and that is.
Well, let's pronounce it correctly. Harrisburg. That's how this. That's how this. My fellow Spanioli. Harrisburg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Harrisburg. That's where you were, because I saw the graffiti in the background. That's where you took that?
That's the Harrisburg Arts Museum. That is a warehouse that they invite artists to come out and do the graffiti. They do a full mural in each bay door.
I think I've done a tour of that.
Yeah, it's really cool. They changed it up. I think once a year they changed it up. But that one, so that pistol there is it's a Rock Island Armory. It's a 2011. So it's like a 1911, but it's a double stack. And so it's got a 20 plus round capacity in it. The gunsmithing work was done by Hayes Custom. Shout out Hayes Custom Guns. I'm taking one out of Brandon's book over here.
Yeah.
The work was done by Hayes Custom Guns, and then the plating was done by HTX Tactical, which they send out the plating. We're gonna keep it real H-Town right now. They send out the plating to TV Johnny.
What?
The same guy that makes your grills can be the same guy that makes your guns go bling bling.
Oh, are you talking about the same?
Yes, Johnny Dang. Johnny
really?
Dang. He does all the gold plating for the firearms, and I thought, what would be better than to have a competition gun? Because here we are, we throw them in holsters, we throw them in buckets, we drag them through the mud, and here I am running a gold plated gun.
Nice.
In competition, because you just gotta. I figure if I'm gonna be a crappy shooter, I might as well look good while doing it.
But I doubt you're a crappy shooter. I bet.
I am definitely bottom of the pack. I'm not even gonna play like I'm anything that I'm not. Like on a national level, I end up at the bottom of the pack. So I'm cool with that.
So let's talk. Can I talk about real quick?
Oh, you want to involve in the conversation? This is fun.
Oh, hi. So good to see you.
Yeah, we forgot about you over there.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah,
hi.
Hey, what's going on?
So you're not just the hand model?
Real quick, Grant, nice phone, man.
Nice phone. What are you talking about?
That one over there in the corner.
Oh, you like this?
Yeah.
Hold on just a
The
second.
80s called. They want their phone back.
Hold on just a second. Marty McFly is calling me. Hello?
Marty McFly.
Yeah.
So,
Gordon Gecko.
I thought what was creative is is this your handle for like Instagram? Is it, what is it? Let's hear you say it.
It's Pew Pew Amanda.
I think that's amazing.
I make the
Pew
pews.
Pew.
I make the pews.
Well, she said that earlier. I asked her what her Instagram was, and she said Pew Pew Amanda. I said, what?
Yeah, Pew Pew Amanda.
Yeah.
So what's funny is as a kid, every time I'd play guns with my friends, I'd be like, pew, pew. And they were like,
pew 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 pew. Exactly.
yeah.
See?
But they'd be
See?
like, I'd be like, why aren't you dead, bro? They're like, no, you missed. If it pew, pew, that means the bullet flew by. You missed.
You didn't throw enough at them because one of them's gonna hit eventually. You just gotta go. That's when you just gotta go fully magged up on them. Just pew 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 pew.
Yeah, so what's the noise when you're hit?
Well, he was like, if you hit me, it's like boom, boom, not pew, pew. Like pews, like they're flying by.
That's a sorry way to win that.
You know,
game.
Tommy Alejandro.
That's when you tell them I hit you with lasers.
Yeah.
Laser guns. There you
Lasers.
go. I like laser guns. That's awesome.
You put the emphasis in the wrong syllable.
That's right. That's right.
So Pew Pew Amanda. So that's where we can all find you on your IG account.
Yep.
I think that's a very cool name, very creative. It's awesome. It's perfect.
There's a lot of pew pew people out there.
Are there?
Yeah. There's like my friend Pew Pew Pansy. So there's a lot of people out there that we use Pew Pew in our name, and even one of the spokes guys for one of the gun companies is his is like the Pew Pew Life.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Pew Pew is kind of a common thing
In the
with
gun
us.
world.
Yeah, with us Pew Pewers.
That's cool.
You know, we like to make the pews, all of them.
So as far as like dating life, when you meet a guy who's
You got a big sigh.
My bad.
You got a big sigh on that one.
My bad.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I didn't
Here we
see a ring.
go.
I thought I could ask.
All right, so here's the deal with that. Either a guy's going to meet me and they're going to be super, super, super intimidated. They're going to feel demasculated. Like, you know, what's going to come? Like, whenever, like, if shit pops off, what am I going to do? I got to hide behind my girl?
Yeah.
Like,
Babe.
I know I
Right.
can't protect her. Like, I probably should just get the hell out her way. Like, babe, don't worry. Just get behind me. I got this. Pew, 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 pew.
She's like doing signals like,
Yeah.
Like, he's like,
yeah.
what do I?
No, it's
We need-
it's straight up had this discussion before. We're like, hey, if shit ever pops off, don't try to be no hero. Just get out my way.
I like that. You know what? Here's what I want to do every time, Brandon. Every time we have a show, we haven't done it before, but I want to do it now. When we have a guest on, such as Amanda, any guest that we have on, I think it would be a fun little thing at the end of it to play a little game with a guest.
Okay.
Okay. In this particular case, I think what we should do is play since we're drinking some beer.
Salud, by the way, before
Drinking some beer.
we play.
Yes.
Okay, is that?
You need one
she's-
more? You need one more?
She's got Modelo. I'm
I
still
might
doing
need
the
one.
guns
I
and
think
oil.
I do need one more.
Okay. We're going to do a drinking game, and I think for our game today, Brendan, we are going to play what?
Never have I ever.
Never have I ever. So if you are, if you're watching or listening and you want to play along, by all means, play along with us. We can see if you're how you are compared to us. But so for those of you who don't know, basically what's going to happen is we're going to ask questions. Never have I ever. You answer it that you have done it. You take a drink. Whoever takes a drink gets a point. First one, we could drag this out all night, but for the purposes of making sure that our producer is not too unhappy with us, we will go to 5. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. We're going to go to 5.
So never have I ever. Amanda, are you down for this?
Amanda,
I'm totally.
are you good? Have you ever played Never Have I Ever?
I have.
You have?
I have.
She's
Why are you laughing?
because she's thinking of the time she's played and the trouble that she
I
got
always
into.
end up really drunk.
Yes.
Really, really, really drunk.
Right. So
And I think at that point, all my friends start judging me really hard. Hey,
nobody's
interwebs.
judging. Nobody's judging.
Everyone's gonna judge me so hard.
No, nobody's judging. Well,
Fuck
see,
it,
this
let's do it.
this time we're not.
These
taking,
guys judged me 2 weeks ago,
But-
so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Do it.
yeah. We're not taking shots though. We're taking just a drink here. So, do you want to? Since this is your game, Brandon, do you want to? And we're gonna try different games every time we do a show. But today we're gonna try this game out.
All
Is that
right,
cool
well-
with you?
Yeah, speaking of, gun safety and gun laws,
Okay.
the first question I'm going to have for you guys is never have I ever gotten really drunk and irresponsibly played with a gun.
Jeez. Is there any more that? Oh, so you're gonna keep score on this?
Got it.
You got it. Okay.
Hey,
So,
it's all right. You're not the only one.
well, I like how both of you
Sponsor.
hesitated on it.
Sponsor.
Were you waiting for the other one to go first? Is that what was
Sponsor's gonna
happening?
be real happy with
Yeah, she was worried about sponsors.
There was a time that I was really young and really stupid before I learned about firearm safety.
Okay. Here's one. Never have I ever had a close brush with death.
Define close brush. I
I mean, have you ever gotten to a point where you were in a situation where you
I've been
almost,
so hungover that I thought I was gonna die. Yeah.
Drink.
Drank.
So 2 points for
3
Brandon.
points for Brandon.
Get a beer. That means I'm gonna win.
I almost
You
got,
don't want me to
I
win.
almost got pancaked by a semi truck, so I think that would count.
You have?
Yeah, maybe getting shot at with your own gun, maybe that would count. I don't know.
Did you almost hit yourself?
No, I didn't try to do it to myself, but shit happens.
No, we were talking about that shooting.
Ba-dum-dum-ts.
You heard I heard a story about a guy that was had his gun in his waistband, and
Ooh, that happened recently.
yes, guy had a gun in his waistband. He didn't have it holstered or anything, and he started to drop it through his pants. So he reached down to get it, and when he grabbed it, he pulled the trigger and shot himself right through the scrotum. Yeah.
What football player did that?
Plaxico Burress.
That's right.
Did that in
New
nightclub.
York.
Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Never have I ever peed my pants in public. Nice.
Never have I ever peed in a pool.
Yeah, I mean that's yes.
Well, I needed Grant to get a point.
So we all get points, so it's pretty much a wash anyways. I like that I'm in the lead on this anyways.
The thing about it is that think about swim up bars at all inclusive resorts.
Yes. You were
So
setting
you're
that
talking
up.
so you're talking about basically the San Luis and Galveston.
Basically,
Well, you were setting that up for some great story, and then it just ended.
when the same
One of you
50 people have been around you for 4 hours straight and no one's left the pool,
Yes.
and you have like unlimited drinks, it has nothing. I mean, that's like no one's gone to the restroom outside of the pool.
Well, when I was growing up, we used to go to Wet and Wild in Arlington, which is like a water park, and you went into the lazy river that just went around. You went to the lazy river because you had to pee.
Never have I ever checked through my ex's phone through their social media. Say it. You've done it. You win the game.
So does that mean that I made a drink to it?
Win a chicken dinner.
That means you won.
Oh yeah, man.
You won. Congratulations. Congratulations, Amanda. You won. That's awesome. That was fun. I like that. We need to do that next time.
That was cool.
I like that. But next time we need to be a little bit more prepared for it.
I agree.
We'll be more prepared for it. But Amanda, this was fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we need to do this again. Will you come back on with us sometime
For
and do
sure.
this again?
For sure, I'm totally down.
What do you got coming up? What competitions? What do you got that you want to tell us about?
Coming up, I'm gonna be shooting the Kalash Bash, which is gonna be an all AK match.
Okay.
That's put on by the guys of Dissident Arms. So what they do is they make a 12 gauge shotgun based off the AK platform.
Okay.
But the match is open to anybody that shoots AKs. There's still plenty of spots open. It is local. It's in Navasota, Texas.
Okay.
So this isn't just for the pros. Y'all are more than welcome to come out and shoot your stuff.
Is there anybody else you want to mention? Anybody that you want to give a shout out to or anything like that?
I definitely want to give a shout out to my sponsor, C&G Holsters.
Okay.
They do great custom Kydex holsters, whether it's for your in the waistband carry, your concealed carry, your competition carry, or stuff for law enforcement. They make everything customized to what you have and what you wear, whether it's a Glock with a stream light. They make it specifically to how you want it and what color, anything that you would like of that nature. They've been great and supportive of me. They've been awesome friends, and they are a law enforcement owned company, as well as they are a great Christian based company. So they are super, super, super great people. And
Very good.
love, love, love representing them.
Very good. Very good. Amanda, thank you very much. This was fun. I like this. This
Yes,
is
thank
good.
you
It's
for
good having
having
a
me.
guest.
Thank you.
It was.
It's good having somebody other than Johnny sitting right there. Although, you know what, I have to admit, I miss having Johnny involved in the conversation. But this was good. And I'm really just saying that because he's standing right in front of us.
Yeah.
So that's why I mentioned that. But I think this was solid. So thank you, Amanda.
Very
Brandon,
much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Amanda. You were awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Beer View Mirror. Next time we'll try to talk a little bit more about stuff as opposed to what we did today. But this was fun, though. I like this. So thank you, guys.